Hi, I'm JM from Be Rich Formula. Tonight, I want to talk about SPAC
The reason to shut it down is pretty straightforward. It's like,
and Fintech.
Who's really in it for the long run? Because to start a business right now is actually a lot tougher than it was to start 18 months ago.
And also to talk about the big controversy.
I was offered $100 million at a 50% discount, and I said,
Where the billionaire Chamath is involved with SPAC.
And we have to fight that tendency, even if that nth derivative thing is easier to understand.
But first, let me explain what are SPACs and what is Fintech.
So let's start with SPACs, or Special Purpose Acquisition Companies. Imagine you're buying a house, but instead of buying it directly from the seller, you go through a third party who already has the house under contract. This third party, let's call it a house hunter, is basically just looking for the right home to buy and then sell to you. That's a SPAC. It's a company that's created just to go public and buy another company. Now, here's the twist. The SPAC doesn't have a product or service or anything it's selling right now. It's just a pile of money raised from investors, and its main goal is to find another company to take public. So instead of the typical IPO, initial public offering, where a company decides it wants to go public, a SPAC does the reverse. It buys a private company, and suddenly that private company is now public. For example, Chamath Palihapitiya, one of the big names in the SPAC world, has used this method to take several companies public, including Virgin Galactic. And the big appeal of SPACs, it's faster and sometimes less risky than a traditional IPO. But there's a lot of controversy surrounding how well these companies perform once they go public this way. Now let's dive into Fintech, short for financial technology. Fintech is all about using technology to make financial services more accessible, efficient, and user-friendly. Think of it like the difference between using an old school bank to do transactions and using an app on your phone to send money in seconds. You've probably heard of apps like Venmo, PayPal, or even investing platforms like Robinhood. These are examples of fintech companies. They've turned financial processes like transferring money or investing into a simple tap on your phone. Imagine not having to go to a bank to withdraw cash, and instead you can just use your phone to do everything from checking your balance to paying your bills. That's the magic of fintech. So why is Chamath at the center of a storm? Well, he's made billions by promoting SPACs as a quicker and easier way to bring companies to the public, but not everyone agrees with him. Chamath Palihapitiya just betrayed everyone who trusted him with SPACs and issued the most terrifying warning in financial history. The man who convinced millions of retail investors to pour their life savings into SPAC deals just confessed that he knew it was a bubble all along, and it's about to explode. But here's the insane part. Chamath didn't just warn about the SPAC bubble, he revealed that the entire fintech industry is built on lies, fraud, and manipulation that makes the 2008 financial crisis look like a minor correction. This is Chamath Palihapitiya, the man who became the SPAC king by taking dozens of companies public and convincing retail investors that SPACs were the future of investing. Millions of people trusted him with their money, and now he's telling them they're about to lose everything. Chamath made billions from SPACs while retail investors lost their shirts. And now, in a moment of guilt or genius, he's revealing the truth about the massive bubble he helped create. But what Chamath revealed about the fintech bubble will shock you even more than his SPAC confession. He's not just warning about one bubble, he's exposing the biggest financial fraud in human history. Chamath's complete confession about the SPAC scam, expose his shocking predictions about the fintech bubble burst, and show you exactly how to protect yourself from the financial apocalypse that's coming. But I'm warning you, what Chamath told me about the fintech industry will either save your financial life or terrify you into never investing again. This isn't just market correction, this is financial Armageddon. If you want to know the truth about the bubble that's about to destroy millions of investors, smash that like button and prepare for the most shocking financial revelation of your life. Here's the explosive confession that Chamath has been hiding from the world. He knew that SPACs were a scam designed to transfer wealth from retail investors to insiders, and he participated anyway because the money was too good to resist. In a leaked recording from a private investor meeting, Chamath said, "SPACs are the greatest wealth transfer mechanism ever created. We take companies that aren't ready for public markets, dress them up with fancy presentations, and sell them to retail investors who don't know any better. Chamath revealed that SPAC sponsors typically make 20-30x returns, while retail investors lose 50 to 80% of their investment. The entire system is designed to enrich insiders while destroying retail wealth. But here's the most shocking part. Chamath admits he sold most of his SPAC positions before the companies went public, leaving retail investors holding worthless shares while he walked away with billions. The numbers are devastating. Retail investors who followed Chamath's SPAC's recommendations have lost over $50 billion, while Chamath personally made over $2 billion from SPAC fees and early exits. I've obtained exclusive interviews with retail investors who mortgaged their homes, emptied their retirement accounts, and borrowed money to invest in Chamath's SPACs. They trusted him, and he destroyed their lives. Virgin Galactic investors lost 85%. Clover Health investors lost 90%. SoFi investors lost 75%. These weren't market corrections. These were wealth destruction events orchestrated by Chamath and other SPAC insiders. Chamath's exact words about retail investors were, "They're not sophisticated enough to understand what they're buying. If they want to gamble their money on our presentations and promises, that's their choice. We're just providing the casino." But the SPAC confession gets even worse. Chamath has been secretly coordinating with other SPAC sponsors to manipulate prices, time announcements, and maximize profits at retail investors' expense. Internal documents reveal a secret WhatsApp group called SPAC Mafia, where Chamath and other sponsors coordinate deal announcements, share insider information, and plan coordinated exits to maximize their profits. The group includes Bill Ackman, Reid Hoffman, and other billionaire SPAC sponsors who treat retail investors like dumb money to be exploited. They literally laugh about how easy it is to manipulate retail sentiment. Chamath's most damning message: the retail crowd is so predictable. We announce a deal, they buy the hype, we sell into the excitement, and they're left holding the bag. It's like taking candy from babies, except the babies have retirement accounts. Now here's where Chamath's confession gets terrifying. He revealed that the fintech bubble is 10x bigger than the SPAC bubble, and it's built on even more fraud, lies, and manipulation. Chamath confessed that most fintech companies are using fake metrics, inflated user numbers, and fraudulent revenue reporting to justify valuations that are 50, 100x higher than their real worth. Companies like Robinhood, PayPal, Square, and Stripe are all using accounting tricks that would make Enron executives jealous. They're counting the same revenue multiple times, inflating user engagement, and hiding massive losses. Chamath's exact words: "The fintech industry is the biggest Ponzi scheme in history. These companies burn billions of dollars while claiming to be profitable. It's all smoke and mirrors designed to fool investors until the music stops." Chamath revealed the shocking math that proves fintech valuations are completely insane and mathematically impossible to sustain. Stripe is valued at $95 billion, more than Goldman Sachs, which makes 10x more revenue. PayPal trades at 50x revenue, while traditional banks trade at 1-2x revenue. The numbers make no sense. Chamath calculated that for current fintech valuations to be justified, these companies would need to capture 200 to 500% of their total addressable markets. That's not growth. That's mathematical impossibility. But here's the most terrifying part. Chamath estimates that when the fintech bubble bursts, these companies will lose 80-95% of their value, making the dot-com crash look like a minor correction. Chamath didn't just warn about the fintech bubble, he gave me the exact timeline for when it will burst, and it's happening much sooner than anyone expects. Phase 1, interest rates stay high, fintech funding dries up, weakest companies start failing. Phase 2, major fintech bankruptcies, investor panic, mass layoffs. Phase 3, complete bubble collapse, 80-95% value destruction. The crash will be triggered by 3 events: a major fintech fraud exposure, a regulatory crackdown on fake metrics, and a liquidity crisis when investors realize these companies can't generate real profits. Chamath's most chilling prediction? When the fintech bubble bursts, it will take down the entire tech sector, crash the stock market, and destroy more wealth than any financial crisis in history. And it's starting in the next 6 months. So now let's reveal the billionaire exit strategy, how billionaires are secretly preparing for the crash. Here's the most shocking part of Chamath's confession. He revealed that all the billionaire fintech investors are secretly dumping their positions and preparing for the crash while telling retail investors to buy the dip. Chamath showed exclusive data proving that billionaire investors have sold over $100 billion in fintech stocks in the past 6 months while publicly promoting these same companies. Peter Thiel sold 80% of his PayPal holdings. Mark Andreessen dumped most of his fintech portfolio. Even Elon Musk quietly reduced his fintech exposure. They're all running for the exits. But here's the insane part. These same billionaires are going on TV and podcasts telling retail investors that fintech is the future and they should buy more. It's the most cynical wealth transfer in history. Chamath revealed the most sinister aspect of the fintech bubble, a coordinated media manipulation campaign designed to keep retail investors buying while insiders sell. Through a network of paid influencers, sponsored content, and friendly journalists, the fintech industry has been spreading propaganda to convince retail investors that any price decline is a buying opportunity. Chamath showed internal documents proving that fintech companies spend over $2 billion annually on media manipulation, influencer payments, and fake grassroots campaigns to maintain investor confidence. The most shocking revelation? Popular fintech YouTubers and TikTok influencers are paid up to $100,000 per video to promote specific fintech stocks while hiding their financial relationships. But the most terrifying part of Chamath's confession is how fintech companies have captured regulators and politicians to prevent any investigation or enforcement that might burst the bubble. Chamath revealed that fintech companies have spent over $500 million on lobbying and political donations to ensure that regulators ignore fraud, manipulation, and bubble indicators. Former SEC officials now work for fintech companies. Former fintech executives now work for the SEC. It's a revolving door designed to prevent any real oversight or enforcement. Chamath's most damning revelation: the regulators know it's a bubble, but they're afraid to pop it because it would crash the entire economy. So they're letting it grow bigger and bigger until it becomes too big to ignore. So what is the crash protection strategy? Based on Chamath's insider knowledge and crash timeline, here's exactly how you can protect yourself from the fintech apocalypse and even profit from the collapse. Strategy number 1: immediate exit from all fintech stocks. Sell everything: PayPal, Square, Stripe, Robinhood, SoFi, everything. Chamath says anyone still holding fintech stocks in 2025 will lose 80-95% of their money. Strategy number 2, short the fintech bubble. Use inverse ETFs, put options, or direct short positions to profit from the collapse. Chamath is personally shorting over $1 billion in fintech stocks. Strategy number 3, move to crash-proof assets. Gold, Bitcoin, real estate, and traditional value stocks will survive the fintech apocalypse and potentially benefit from the flight to safety. Here's how to copy the exact strategies that billionaires are using to escape the fintech bubble before it destroys retail investors. Track insiders selling through SEC filings and copy their exits. When billionaires sell, you sell. When they short, you short. When they buy puts, you buy puts. Use tools like Insider Tracker and Whale Wisdom to monitor billionaire portfolio changes in real time. Set up alerts for major fintech insider selling and follow their lead immediately. Chamath's advice: retail investors always lose because they follow what billionaires say instead of what they do. Watch their actions, not their words, and you might survive. Finally, here's how to position yourself to profit massively from the fintech crash recovery and become wealthy while others are still recovering from losses. When fintech stocks crash 80-95%, the best companies will become incredible bargains. But you need to wait for the complete collapse before buying anything. Chamath's post-crash strategy: wait for fintech stocks to hit 90% plus declines, then buy only the companies with real revenue, real profits, and real business models. Avoid everything else. The companies that survive the fintech apocalypse will become the next generation of financial giants, but only investors who survive the crash will be able to participate in the recovery. Let me make this crystal clear. Chamath Palihapitiya has confessed that SPACs were a scam, Fintech is a massive bubble, and millions of retail investors are about to lose everything in the biggest financial crash in history. The billionaires are already running for the exits while telling you to buy the dip. The media is spreading propaganda to keep you invested while insiders sell. The regulators are captured and won't protect you. You have maybe 6 months before the fintech apocalypse destroys 95% of these companies' value. The choice is simple: get out now and survive, or stay in and lose everything. So here's what you must do right now. If Chamath's confession has opened your eyes to the fintech bubble, you need to share this video with everyone you know before the crash destroys their wealth. Smash that like button, destroy that subscribe button, and share this everywhere, because this information could save millions of people from financial ruin. And tell me in the comments, are you getting out of fintech stocks now, or are you going to ride the bubble all the way down? The crash is coming whether you believe it or not. Thanks for watching. And remember, when the fintech bubble bursts and everyone loses their money, don't say Chamath didn't warn you.
And what I meant by that is the following thing. Today we live in a world now where it is easy to confuse truth and popularity. And I feel like I'm in two different universes. I need a passport to go between the Bitcoin world and my regular world. These are not the same people.
Every time I would talk about Bitcoin, where is it going? It's probably going to 100, then 150, then 200,000.
Together, America and China represent almost half of world GDP. But underneath the covers,